Okay, pay close attention, because I'm about to tell you the truth. Relationships are a game, and the sooner you learn the rules, the better you'll do. If you've ever felt lost, confused, or helpless when dealing with women, that changes today. You have two options: pick up the pieces and figure out what works, or stay lost and not moving. This is the real deal about her mind and how you can take control like no one else. If you want her to be crazy about you and start chasing you instead of you always running after her, then stop wasting time on useless advice and pay attention to what really matters. This type of psychological power has the potential to significantly alter the situation. People like to portray women as delicate, innocent creatures, but they're not. They use daily plans and moves to get what they want. If you think you're playing fair, think again. This is a battlefield, and it's crucial to prepare yourself with information that can drastically alter the rules. Now you might be wondering if this is right, or even if you should learn it. Do not worry about right and wrong until you win. People who get ahead don't follow the rules, they make new ones. I'm not encouraging manipulation. It's about taking charge, never feeling helpless, and making decisions. This isn't for people who want to stay safe or be nice. It's for people who are sick of feeling ignored, of playing small, and of not having the confidence and control they deserve. If this resonates with you, prepare yourself, as I am about to unveil a novel perspective that many are too afraid to acknowledge. Part 1. Creating an emotional connection. Once you see it, you can't take it back. Indeed, this method bears a striking resemblance to an ancient practice that has endured over time. Stoicism. The Stoics thought that you should be able to control your feelings and keep your inner world stable no matter what was going on around you. That's exactly what I'm talking about, learning how to handle your emotions. Maintaining composure and making choices from a position of power is crucial. It's not about reacting to everything, but carefully and strategically choosing your moves. When you follow these rules, you're not just playing the game, you're mastering it. Are you with me? This is just the beginning. Before we proceed, if you're prepared to transform your approach to relationships by harnessing the power of Stoicism, please subscribe. Every video is a step toward getting control of your mind and making connections that are stronger and more important. Okay, let's dive. To make it easier for you to understand, let me break it down into a section that will evoke a specific emotion in you. If you want to change a woman's mind, disregard logic and disregard it. If you want to be in charge, you need to focus on emotions instead of facts, reason, or well-thought-out arguments. This is due to the fact that women process logic differently than men do, as their emotions drive them. Have you ever tried to explain yourself in an argument by laying out everything in a clear, logical way, only for her to still not get it? That's because it's not about what makes sense. It's about how she feels. Women tend to respond to emotions instead of reasoning. The worst part is that they've probably been using this against you without you even realizing it. To shift the power in their favor, they will act upset, play the guilt card, or pretend to feel hurt. Have you ever wondered why an argument escalated so quickly, or why you feel like the victim? That's emotional control at work. It's not your fault. It's simply the nature of the game. The positive news is that you can change the rules. All you have to do is make her feel something, keep her guessing, and watch how the dynamics change. Unpredictability, not logic, does. You gain control when you evoke emotions such as excitement, happiness, jealousy, or even a hint of fear in her. Emotions are addicting, and if you can make her feel those highs and lows, she'll start to associate them with you. That's how you maintain your presence in her mind. Here's a pro tip. Learn to make your emotions go up and down. Give her your full attention and make her feel special 1 minute, and then pull away and act detached the next. This is called push and pull. She's always looking for your approval, and the dynamic keeps her off balance. She'll stay mentally hooked because she is interested because she doesn't know what will happen next. She is always wanting more and is ready to see the difference. Now is the time to play smarter. Here's the truth. Most people are too. Part 2. Make use of her fears. When it comes to relationships, women want to stay in charge by keeping you emotionally tied down. Well, if you can mess with her emotions before she does the same to yours, you'll never have to worry about right and wrong. It's said that mastering feelings is the battlefield and guarantees victory. Now let me add something deeper, the Stoic mindset. The Stoics understood that our emotions can be our greatest strength or our biggest weakness. They taught us to stay in control of our inner world, no matter what happens outside of us. So while women might be playing the emotional game, you're not going to lose yourself in the chaos. You're going to stay calm, composed, and strategic, just like a Stoic would imagine it. Just like the Stoics, you don't let the emotional storms around you throw you off. Of course, you recognize emotions for what they are, temporary waves, and choose how you respond. You're in control of your own feelings, which means you can better influence the situation without getting caught up in it. You learn to respond, not react. That's what gives you the power. And when you combine that level of control with the ability to create emotional spikes, now you're playing a whole different game, one where you're always a step ahead. Now let's go even deeper. If you want to truly stay in control, you need to understand and use her fears. Even though it sounds cruel, fear is one of the most powerful things that drives people. And guess what? Women have fears too. They're not just random fears. Fear of being alone, fear of being rejected, and fear of not being good enough. When you know how to use them, you have the upper hand. Most people avoid discussing this because it's too serious or dark, but we won't. You can either take charge of the situation or let it control you. What women are really afraid of goes deeper than they let on. Once you know what she's scared of, you can use that information to keep her emotionally and mentally hooked. Think about Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. Why does Anastasia keep falling in love with him so much? Sure, he's rich and hot, but that's not the whole story. He manipulates her fear of loneliness by making her feel special one moment and distant the next, leaving her uncertain about her position. This constant doubt, wondering if she's decent enough and afraid she might lose him, keeps her emotionally attached. It's not just love or attraction that keeps her with him. It's the emotional roller coaster he creates that makes her cling to him even more. If you want to stay in charge, make her fear that losing you would be the worst thing that could happen. When she fears losing you, you gain control over the relationship. Maintain her vigilance, and she will persistently pursue you. 3. The push-pull method. I'm not telling you to terrorize people. That's not the point. What I am saying is that you need to understand what makes her act the way she does, and fear is a big part of it. If you subtly exploit her fears, you'll control the relationship. Let's discuss a topic that rarely receives attention. The Stoics knew that our emotions, especially fear, can either help us grow or hurt us. They knew that even though fear is a natural reaction, we don't have to let it control us. Instead, we can face it with wisdom and reason. By mastering our own emotions before attempting to influence others in relationships, you gain an advantage as you remain centered, clear, and strategic, understanding that the things that anger you are actually tools, not weaknesses. By applying the Stoic principle of apatheia, free from emotional disturbance, you can act with control, not out of fear or desperation. This gives others a sense of security and strength that you have. Therefore, while fear can serve as a powerful motivator, It's how you handle it that truly matters. If you use it wisely and with calm control, you'll keep the power. Now let's talk about a method that will almost certainly keep her hooked, the push-pull technique. It's easy, but man does it work. How it works. When you pay her attention and make her feel special, and then you pull away or seem distant. That constant back and forth creates emotional tension. And let me tell you, emotional tension is like a drug. She won't even know it, but she'll keep coming back for more, desperate for your attention. That's the thing about women. They thrive on emotional ups and downs. If you give her too much attention, she gets bored. If you give her too little attention, she feels neglected. But when you master the art of balancing both, she'll spend all her time wondering what you're thinking and what you're going to do next. And that emotional tension will keep her focused on you. It's not just a game. The push-pull technique is a strategy. It creates the perfect balance of uncertainty and excitement that keeps her emotionally attached. And the best part? While she's busy analyzing your every move, she'll stop thinking about her own needs and start focusing on you. That's the kind of control that keeps her interested. Her coming back. Let me show you how it works in real life. You may have heard of the on and off relationship between Elena Gomez and Justin Bieber. It was like a roller coaster, always going in different directions. Why did it keep everyone interested, and more importantly, why did it last so long? The answer is simple: the push-pull dynamic. Justin would do everything he could to make Selena feel like the most important person in his life. He would show her affection, make bold moves, and do everything else he could to make her feel important. That was the push. Then, out of the blue, he'd pull away. He might date someone else or just leave her hanging, not sure where they stood. Part 4. Make her trust you more emotionally. Whiplash kept the relationship alive in the news and, more importantly, in Selena's mind. Selena has expressed that the constant question of what if made it difficult for her to move on. That's the power of push-pull. It makes you wonder. The cycle of uncertainty, tinged with both hope and concern, persists. Selena, despite her constant attempts to resolve the situation, found herself enmeshed in a cycle that maintained her mental attachment to Justin even after their breakup. How can you use this in your own life? It's easier than you think. Begin by making her feel special, by complimenting her, taking her out, demonstrating your care, giving her your undivided attention, and instilling in her a sense of accomplishment. Then, when she's feeling great, pull back, be distant, take longer to answer her texts, or act busy. This sudden change will throw her off, and she'll start looking for that feeling again, wondering why you pulled away. Don't let her feel too safe. Once she thinks she knows everything about you, she'll lose interest. Women like things that are new and unpredictable. Despite being confusing for her, the push-pull method works because it creates a loop of highs and lows, which keeps her interested. But this is where the Stoic view makes everything clearer. Focus. The Stoics knew that emotions, especially ones like fear or uncertainty, can be useful tools, but only if you stay in charge of them. When you understand the psychology of push-pull, you're not playing mind games on purpose. You're playing with awareness. This is called apathy. Freedom gives you a stronger sense of power because it lets you stay calm and not let the mental chaos you're making affect you. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca talked about controlling your own wants and feelings so you could stay at peace with yourself. This way of dealing with relationships is different from acting on impulse because it's not about being cold or distant, but about knowing and controlling your emotional responses to deal with the ups and downs of the relationship. Don't be that guy who's always available and predictable. Keep her guessing about what's going to happen next. That's how you keep her emotionally involved. Consider Selena and Justin, who captivated everyone's attention. You set the rhythm, and she'll follow it while you stay calm. Stay calm, collected, and in charge of your own emotions. Before we go on, if you found this helpful, please hit that like button. It makes a difference and helps YouTube share this with more guys who need it. It's quick, it's free, and it makes a difference. Thanks. Here we go again. Let's take it to the next level and talk about how to slowly win her trust. Okay? Ladies, you've been missing the point. Women aren't looking for someone simple to win over. They want men who know how to challenge them just enough to keep them wanting more. I'm not talking about being mean or rude. I'm talking about making smart, subtle moves that make her question herself and keep her wanting your approval. Think about it. Guys are always trying to win over ladies, but what happens when you don't do that? When you're not constantly chasing her, she starts to doubt herself, and that's when you have the upper hand. It's not about being mean, it's about being smart and strategic. Chuck Bass from the TV show Gossip Girl. He's not a kind guy, but he knows how to mess with Blair Waldorf's feelings, making her feel both wanted and uncertain about herself. One minute he's giving her lots of compliments, and the next he's criticizing her. It also works in real life, as it constantly challenges women. If you make her question herself in a subtle way, she'll depend on you for everything. Part 5. The power of mystery to prove something. She'll start to think about what she can do to make you happy, and that's when you take charge. It's all about finding a balance. She's not shy, but she wants your praise. Here's how to give it to her. Start with a compliment that makes her feel good, and then right after, give her a small, subtle critique. For example, tell her she looks great, but maybe her outfit isn't the best choice for where you're going. This creates back and forth tension in the conversation. She feels good, but then she wonders if she did something wrong, and that doubt makes her come back for your approval. Another trick is to show interest, then pull away. Give her attention, make her feel special, and then act distant. She'll start to wonder what she did wrong, and she'll try to win your attention back. This keeps her emotionally invested. You can change someone's confidence by staying calm and not letting the outside world affect them. It's less about manipulating them and more about keeping your own inner balance. You grasp the concept of apathy as a sign of freedom, teaches that true strength comes from remaining unaffected by emotionally fluctuating situations. When you subtly push and pull her, you're actually controlling your own emotional response to the situation, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally, instead of constantly chasing approval or seeking to validate your own worth through her attention. Grounding yourself in your own self-sufficiency, the Stoic approach creates emotional dynamics by strategically engaging her while maintaining your own emotional stability. This approach draws her toward you, creating a situation where she constantly seeks your validation while you remain unmoved and steady. Adi. This is where the true power lies. By mastering the balance between challenge and approval, you can subtly shift her confidence, making her emotionally dependent on your validation, all while you stay in control, grounded, and emotionally steady, just like a Stoic would. So keep her on her toes, always wondering where she stands with you, but never let it throw you off balance. Your inner peace and self-control are your biggest strengths, and that's where dynamic's real power lies. Keep the rhythm steady, and she'll follow your lead. Let's talk about the power of surprise. Women like men who are mysterious and don't reveal all of their cards, keeping her guessing about your thoughts, feelings, and next move creates a sense of intrigue. When she remains uncertain, she becomes captivated, and her insatiable curiosity drives her to return for more. The goal isn't to crush her spirit, but to make her value your opinion and seek your validation. When you make her second-guess herself, you position yourself as the one she turns to for reassurance, giving you control in the relationship. This may be unpleasant to hear, but it's true. Women see you as weak when you show emotion. Society tells us that we should be honest, share our feelings, and be open and vulnerable. But in reality, women don't respect men who wear their hearts on their sleeves. They respect men who keep their emotions in check, don't break down under pressure, and keep a sense of mystery. If you're too emotionally available, you become predictable and, well, boring. Women don't like guys who are always there, sharing and open. They want the challenge of figuring you out and the thrill of the unknown. Think about James Bond. He's the perfect example of a man who can keep his feelings in check. Bond is mentally tough, which is why he is so appealing. Many women want to be the one to break through his tough appearance and see his weak side. But if he let down his guard too much, he'd lose his charm. Women are emotional, and they need someone strong to lean on. If you're always showing how you feel and being open, you're just adding to her emotional load. Instead, you should be the rock who can handle her feelings while keeping yours in check. There's no need to keep everything inside, but be smart about sharing your feelings. Never tell her everything, just enough for her to know you're human. That emotional tension will keep her interested when you do share your feelings. Make sure it shows strength, not weakness. Tell stories about problems you've solved. Speaking of times you stayed strong when things got tough, this shows that you're a strong man who can handle anything, even her feelings. This is what makes you truly attractive. Now, let's add some Stoic wisdom to the mix. The Stoics were excellent at keeping their emotions in check. Marcus Aurelius, for example, said that a person's inner peace shouldn't be disturbed by outside events or other people's reactions. They believed in the power of apathy, which is a state of not being affected by emotions, in which a person stays strong and centered, even when there is chaos outside in relationships. This Stoic attitude is essential because it helps you control your feelings and keep a sense of mystery. You show the Stoic virtue of self-control. You're not letting your feelings control your actions or giving other people the power to change how you act. This creates a balance of strength. She may be looking for support, but you don't need it to keep your emotions in check. This approach doesn't mean you suppress all emotion. It means you manage it wisely, revealing just enough to let her know you're human, but not so much that you lose your air of mystery and strength, just like the Stoics. Remember, the Stoic way isn't about avoiding emotions altogether. It's about maintaining mastery over them. Keeping her guessing and pulling away at strategic moments doesn't make you cold. It makes you strong, composed, and in control, just as the Stoics would advise. And that's exactly what women find irresistible. Here's the raw reality of asserting control in relationships. It's not about being manipulative or mean. It's about understanding the dynamics and using them wisely. Relationships are a game of psychological power, and those who master it will consistently emerge victorious. If you look at this from a Stoic perspective, it's all about mastering your emotions and understanding the balance of power. Whether in relationships, work, or life in general, the Stoics taught us that maintaining a calm, grounded presence and controlling our inner world is crucial. By controlling your emotions, you take charge of the situation, just like the Stoics did when they faced hardship with strength and wisdom. In relationships, this means making sure that you are not emotionally dependent, but rather emotionally strong and balanced. Not manipulating others, but controlling your own actions and emotions gives you real power. If this video opened your eyes, please like it and subscribe for more videos about the psychology of relationships. Be sure to turn on the warning bell so you never miss a message. Write something down below and tell me what you think. Are you going to try any of these methods? Remember that knowledge is power, so stay smart, plan ahead, and take charge of your life and relationships like the Stoics did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.